What's up, everybody, and welcome to Rusty Fenders. Today we are going to be doing another Partcaster. This time we're gonna do a little bit of a mix of vintage and modern. We're gonna start with this super cool Telecaster Thinline body. It's actually from the same company that I got the is a Fiesta faded Fiesta Red Stratocaster you saw earlier. So same thing, like it's a little bit relict, but I like it because it's just like a few chips there. So it's not like crazy relict. And what I'm doing is, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a green Telecaster. I was using one of those reverse headstock necks, so I just took it from that other guitar and I decided that I want a thin line again because I saw the original tin line you saw in my video. It was a Squire. So what I'm doing is I got the Tex-Mex Fender pickups, and that's what I'm installing here. And I'm actually, the body was pre-drilled, so I'm just making the holes, the pilot holes, the correct size. And of course I am using wax to get that first part of the drilling, right? That you don't want to get that new screw there without having some wax on it. Just in case you can see, I just stick them a little bit there and just stick them out. They have a little bit of wax just to make things easier. So I do like to use the copper tape. I'm actually been using the copper tape for a lot. You guys will see in another video. But as you see there, I put it there to hold the ground in place when I'm screwing it. I already had it a few times where it falls into the cavity, and I only find out after I put strings. And you know, of course you should test things before, but sometimes I don't, and then I pay the consequences. So I just use that tape that is conductive on both sides, right? So the copper side and the glue is conductive, so it helps me hold it in place. So it's a little trick if anybody's having that issue, that you have like a short amount of cable, so that makes it a little bit easier. And also, when you're doing a thin line, it makes it easier to have one of those hooks to get in there, just because the hole is a little bit too small for my hands. So, and it doesn't have that cutout right on the top to guide it. So definitely a good idea to have some tools. So this is my first time doing a thin line. Of course it's the same in the Telecaster, but everything is just in a little bit different place. And I, you know, made a mistake. Basically, you're gonna see me now making I think it's an easy mistake to spot, so you might be able to see it. So do leave down below in the comments if you guessed it before I tell you what I did. But you know, I always have to make a mistake, and just to keep it real. And of course I'm not gonna remove them from the video. So I actually went to the guys at Flipside Music here in Denver. Super cool dudes. I got some most of the part, actually I got them there, and I got that switch there. So super cool with the spring on it, and it just felt awesome. And yeah, they are actually a Fender authorized dealer, so they got pickups and they got parts and of course guitars. And I actually took one of my guitars to the repair guy. Yes, I was having a few issues with some tall frets, and you know, there's some cases that I tried if it's one of my guitars that I don't care about. But if I have a guitar that is actually cost a lot of money, I'm not gonna go and try it. So I better pay a professional that can do it. And I have to say, they did quick work. I think it was like a 1-day turnaround, so that was pretty amazing. And yeah, for the amount of money they charged, I think they made an amazing job there. So I just, if you can see it, I already did the mistake, and I didn't catch it myself. I didn't catch it. I just kept going. One of the tricky things about making these videos is you're also concerned about your light, about your surroundings, about like the time that you have to do it. When you're recording, it takes more time to do everything, and I think the stakes are higher, so you do have a little bit of pressure of making mistakes. And of course I got the occasional coffee break. I need to go out of the room for whatever reason, so I have to like stop and then get back where where I left it. But yeah, I'm using one of those. What is it called? I forget what's the name. Is it Pure Sound? I don't know. You guys leave it in the comment what's supposed to be that switch that I'm using. So it's the one that it has two connections. It is a little bit weird to get used to it because I'm always used to just plugging it in and feeling just one click. This one actually has two clicks. So you plug it in, it clicks to the first one, and then you push it a little bit more and it gets that second one. So the cable is pretty secure in place, but I do kind of forget sometimes, and I find myself wondering why nothing is coming out of the amp, and it's just that I really didn't plug it in. So pretty easy soldering job, same as the Telecaster. This time around I went with that wax capacitor. I don't know why, but I always go with like 60 specs or like try to get close to the 60s. I'm not sure why. I really don't have any, I mean, I wasn't born in the 60s, so I'm not sure why I'm always gravitate to guitars or specs from the 60s. So you see me skipping that part. That's the parts that I hate the most about Telecasters, and is that jack or that ferrule cup or whatever is always a pain to get it, and more in a Thinline there isn't a lot of meat there, so I really had a hard time, and I actually did it off camera. So I'm noticing that the switch, that the cap that I have, I think the cap was for a Squire or something, and like the hole was different. So when I got it in, I actually broke it. I completely split it in half. So I just dropped some Gorilla Glue. I used the gel version. I think it works pretty well to fixing stuff like that. So what I did is I just let it dry for a little bit, and then I placed it in, and hopefully when I take it out, it's like molded to it. But of course I'm not super gluing the cap to the switch. I wouldn't do that. I'm just getting I think at this point it already got dried up. It doesn't work perfectly, but if I pull it really hard, it does come out. But when I do the switch, it's actually pretty good. I'm not sure why I'm unswitching it right now, because you might have heard it, but that's how good it sounds, right? Like that switch is a solid switch. So I am pretty happy of how the guitar came out. I think it looks super cool. As you see, I did, to make it a rusty Fender, I did spray some apple cider, some vinegar. So yeah, so some vinegar on that bridge there, just to mash it a little bit more with the body. But as you see, I used the maple neck from the other guitar, and it's the reverse headstock with the locking tuners. So I think it's some pretty cool stuff. I hope you like it, and I wanted to update you all guys to basically a little bit of a change in the channel. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to make Parkcaster every few weeks. They're definitely expensive, and I'm not sponsored, and I really don't make anything from the channel. So I wanted to do the jazz bass giveaway a little bit sooner. We might not get to the 500, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to do it at the end of the year. So for New Year's, I'm just gonna select somebody from the subscriber list, and then give you that bass, do a giveaway. Doesn't matter if we don't make it to 500. I'm just gonna do it at the beginning of the year. So I think it's gonna be something pretty cool. But be on the lookout for some different videos in the channel. I'm gonna try to do a little bit more reviews instead of Parkcaster builds. Do let me know down below if you have any ideas, or how would you like the channel to continue, if you like me to take a look at something in particular. But I think I'm reaching the end of making Parkcasters. I already have maybe too many. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you everybody. Cool and out.